T Bailout. Right now, we have in studio right now, we have the lovely, the talented, the creator of her organization called Live Set Apart. Thank you, Aaron. Take that down. Faith. We have Miss Valerie Kote-Tawia. Hey, Valerie, how you doing?
Hi, good. Thanks for having me.
No problem, no problem. You bring that mic down. Help me with that mic, Aaron. Okay, first of all, Valerie, welcome to the Brother T Show.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, and Valerie, I got you on the show because I heard you on one of our programs on our flagship station, thepraisehouse.com, on the Financial Breeze broadcast, which is hosted by Breezy Gibson, Theta Akona, and Brother Jay Green. And I heard you on the program, and you talked about, Live Set Apart. Now, tell us what is Live Set Apart. That struck my interest because this is dealing with youth. So tell us more about Live Set Apart.
Well, Live Set Apart is a website that promotes my new teen book series called Set Apart. And Set Apart is a book series that chronicles the dramatic lives of 5 friends who are, through their experiences, inspired to live set apart and to encourage others to do the same.
Okay. Now, what inspired you to write this?
Well, when I actually wrote it, I was a senior in college. And I thought about some of my experiences in college and in high school. And I sat and wrote actually a stage play that inspired this first book, which is called Would You Be Left? And it actually inspired the book series. And I'm really hoping that teens today would be inspired from the series to actually live set apart, to not follow the crowd, to reset this new norm that we have now, and to just live as they were created and called.
Okay. Right now we have Valerie Kote-Tawia on the Brother T Show right now. So you say you wrote this your senior year in college? I mean, senior year in high school?
Senior year in college, I wrote the stage play.
Okay, yes. So that was last year, right? Because you look so young, right?
Thank you.
I mean, Theta wasn't kidding. I mean, you look so young. I mean, my goodness,
wow.
I thought you was a teenager rolling up in here.
So can I enter the bailout?
Can you prove your age? Oh man. Okay, so these characters in here, you said, because I read a little bit on your website. Mm-hmm. These characters that you have now, were these characters inspired by past experiences? Did you come, or were these just figments of your imagination?
The characters were actually inspired by separate experiences that I had in high school, and I developed, each character actually has a part of my story in their story, but I also added a lot of fiction as well to make them more relatable to today's teenagers.
Okay. Yeah, I have a question. Okay. Right now we have Valerie Kote-Tawia on the Brother T Show. So what inspired you to start writing? Because because people, you have people that love writing. They love it. So what inspired you to start writing?
I think I'm really a dreamer. Like, I daydream and I like stories. And when I was younger, I actually wrote a lot in middle school. I started in middle school. I actually wrote a mini series in middle school that would get passed around and everybody would want to read the new installment. But I really like writing stories and just seeing visual interpretations of things that may be on my mind.
Okay.
So, and when I got into college, actually, I took dramatic writing, creative writing courses, and that really inspired me to pursue this seriously.
Okay. So, wow. So, because I used to daydream in school, but I was never inspired to write. Go ahead, Aaron.
I daydream now, and sometimes, like you said, picturing things that just come to your mind. I do that all the time. I like to write sometimes, and sometimes it's just, where you just had that moment where that's my thing, but I just, need to break away and do something else, because I have a lot of things I like to do. I like to play drums. I like to do a lot, but writing is something I do like to do. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I mean, wow. So these characters, tell us how, without giving away everything. I did read in the synopsis on your website, these characters are different and they have different lives. Tell us a little bit about the characters.
Well, they are very different, but they have been going to school together since kindergarten, so they're really close. We have 3 girls and 2 guys. Angel is almost like the leader of the group. She's the girl with it all. She has everything, but it's still not enough for her, so she's constantly pursuing more. We have Elise, who lives in this picture-perfect family, Everyone looks at her as she is the girl that has it all, but her family has issues too, as most families do. Vaughn is a star athlete who all the girls want and guys want to be like, and it really hasn't gone to his head as of yet. So the readers get to find out if Vaughn could actually handle all of the attention that he gets. Damien is a hustler. He grew up with his mom. His mom is a single parent, and so he has to work really hard for everything that he has to even be able to keep up with his four close friends. And then we have Miss Shamika, who is a young mom, and she already has 2 children, and so she's working with that, which is a lot.
Okay, yeah, that is a lot. Yeah, being married with 2 children is a lot. Yeah, I mean, man, yeah, for real. Right now we have Valerie Kote-Tawia in studio right now on the Brother T Show right now. Because I'm reading this, okay? I think I like Vaughn, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I love sports. Vaughn is the son of a former NFL star, and is planning to follow into his father's footsteps. He gets all the attention, adoration, and any girl he wants. How long before it goes to his head? I like him because he's an NFL star, and other stuff. I like him because, his dad was an NFL star. So these characters that you come up with, and now in your book, have a lot of teenagers read your book, and can they identify with these characters?
I have been getting feedback. The paperback was actually just released last Saturday at a book signing event that we had in Atlanta, and I have been getting feedback about the readers who are really enjoying the book. Okay. Several teens have already told me they finished the book and they have favorite characters and they're ready for book 2, so it's really exciting.
Okay, now, is this book published by a publisher, or did you self-publish?
I did self-publish this book. I tried to propose my idea to different publishing companies,
right? And
finally I decided, I can step out and do this myself. So I self-published, and now it's out here.
And you know what? And I asked that question because in this day and age, a lot of people are self-publishing now, because it's just like the music business, Aaron. People are going independent. Yeah. And they're taking their money and their time to do this, to self-publish.
You saw how Michael did it. He went on himself and started producing his own music.
Who's that now?
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson was well established. I'm talking about like an independent person that nobody hardly knows yet. Okay, and a lot of people are going the self-publishing route now. I've had many authors, and I've asked them this question, and I want your opinion: is it easy or hard to self-publish?
It's easy in the extent that you have total control over your product. I don't have to change my stories or my characters in any way to fit anybody's mold. But it's really hard because as a self-publisher, I'm the promoter. I've really been hustling, trying to get this book out so that readers could buy it. And what's more important to me, even if I give books away, what's important to me is the message that I know is in these stories, and just getting it out there and having readers to read it. So it's really hard. I went to bed last night at 4 a.m., but it's fun as well because it's something that I've always wanted to do.
So you're up late writing?
Well, up late marketing.
Hey, but you know what? I do the same thing too, but like a lot, the gang, you don't know. I'm gonna give you a little bit behind the scenes stuff of the Brother T Show. Mm-hmm. Like the night before the show, I'm up prepping, marketing and so forth. I don't care how late in the night it is. I get so much joy out of doing that. And I know that you get so much joy out there. You're getting so much joy marketing something that's yours.
Yes.
And something that you're a part of, that you birth. And, and that's why, I do so much, as far as the show. And so I can imagine how you felt last night up to like 4 a.m, mm-hmm. just letting people know that you're going to be here or my mm-hmm. book is out, buy a copy and so forth. Man, I understand. I get it. Right now we have Valerie Kote-Tawia on the Brother T Show right now. So I also saw on your website that, now is this true that your book has been turned into a play, or you have written some plays? Tell us about that.
Yes, the idea started from a play. I had a script that I wrote, and I was able to find a talented all-teen cast, and they made an ensemble cast. And they did such a phenomenal job of really bringing my characters that I only had on paper to life. And so I had 3 different ideas of which way to go with the teen series. I knew I wanted to do a book series, but I didn't quite know which direction to go. And since so many people were positively impacted by the actual play and my actors did such a phenomenal job, I decided to go this route and start the Set Apart series. And these characters are so inspired by the actors who were in the play, and more information about them can be found on my website.
Okay, and we'll get to your website in a second. So, this play, are the cast consistent? Is it like a consistent cast, like the same people doing the part at different venues, or is it one of those where anybody, or you go to different locations and anybody else can play the parts?
Well, this particular play was run once for a weekend in 2011, and since then the actors have moved on to bigger projects.
Okay.
They're with their colleges, and they've even done some huge productions with their school. So we are going to rerun this play, and I am going to do a new casting call to get an all new cast of teenagers to star in it.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So what age do you look for teenagers? What age do you cast for?
Well, I'm looking for anyone between the ages of 14 to 22 who could pull off playing the role of a 15 or 16-year-old.
Okay. And any of these guys could do
Well,
it.
I'm 14. We just hit the mark in April, so anytime.
Yeah. And India here, she wants to model, and you want to act too?
Yeah.
I do. I want to act, so that's something. Music and drama. That's what I'm going in for college.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up. Right now we have Valerie Kote-Tawia on the Brother T Show right now. So, your book, how long did it take you to get this thing together? With the manuscript. When you, from the time that you first wrote it on the typewriter or computer. I don't want to say my age. Computer. To where you got the manuscript, you want it reviewed. Then you had some other eyes read it, and then you finally published it. It looks good, by the way. It's in paperback.
Thank you.
And how long the process took?
Well, the entire process took 2 years to complete. I started writing the actual manuscript in 2011, and I went through a period of writer's block where I couldn't write anything.
Really?
For 3 months. I just could not write anything. I would type a few pages and then have to go back and delete them. And so that was really, really hard for me. And finally, through prayer, I made it through that hurdle, and I was able to just sit and write. And the entire writing process took about 9 months. So I literally do feel like I did birth something. You mentioned birthing kids earlier. But it really felt like once it was done, I had just birthed my baby, and I was so excited.
Okay, now, what made you go through this writer's block? If it's too personal, don't mention it. But what made you go through this writer's block?
Well, it's not too personal. I don't mind sharing. After the play aired, and I got so many accolades, and so many people enjoyed it, and they were like, when is the next play? And I actually went into it because I am a dreamer. I went into it thinking, after this play, we'll make so much money, we'll be able to fund more plays and just produce plays nonstop, but it didn't happen that way. And so people were still complimenting me about the play and asking when the next one was going to be. And what they didn't know is that I was actually like in a deep state of depression, and I could not shake it for whatever reason.
Right.
And so during that time, I just could not write anything, and it was really hard. It was really rough.
Okay, Faith, yeah, there you go. That's a good shot, Faith, yeah, because that bar was in front of her. Right now, we have Valerie Kote-Tawia on the Brother T Show right now. So, wow. That's interesting because, the reader in my house is my daughter Faith and my wife Sharon. They're the readers in the house. Me, I like to see it on TV. So, is there any possibility that this play could be on a screen or in a it's already in a play, but is it possible that could be a television series? Because there's a lot of good TV out there for teenagers, that talks about teenagers. One is The Secret Life of an American Teenager, a show that my wife and my daughter got me watching and stuff. Yeah, they got me watching that. I watch ABC Family. Yeah, they got me watching that. They got me hooked on that.
That's cool. It's cool.
It's a good show. It's a pretty nice show for teenagers. So, do you see this book could possibly be a series on TV?
I do. I see it as a TV series as well as a film series. So I'm really excited. I've heard other people. Well, I've had other people come to me to tell me the same thing because the characters were just so real.
Okay.
And their kids could really relate to them. So,
Right.
I mean, the sky's the limit. But I do definitely see it as a TV and film series.
Okay. So, you have any questions, guys? No. Okay. Now, I do see that the book says set apart. I'm gonna do like an infomercial. Set apart. Would you be left? Book 1. Now, how many books do you plan on having in this series?
Oh, well.
Is it gonna be like? Do you plan on doing like the Twilight series or something like that? How many books you plan on having?
The Harry
I plan on
Potter
doing
series.
several books. I can't really put a number on it. So as long as these kids are going through issues, there will be books.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, shoot, you could probably write a book about the size of War and Peace on teenagers. I mean, big thick thing. You probably write about 26 books about that. Wow. Okay, right now we have Valerie Kote-Tawia on the Brother T Show right now. So this book, I mean, how's the feedback been? Ever since you made it public, how's the feedback been?
The feedback has been great. As I said before, teens are already asking me about book 2, and I'm like, man, I really need to get on it, especially if it's going to be another 9 months to birth. But I actually have started book 2. There's a preview of it in book 1, and I'm just really excited. They have found the series to be relatable. One reader in particular says her favorite character is Damien, and it's just really exciting.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
How do you get your inspiration to write your books? Like, do you talk to teens?
Well, I was a high school alternative school teacher.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I worked with a lot of teenagers. I worked in teen ministry, and I worked with, the teens in my class alone. Some of these stories are a little slightly inspired by them, but just knowing the issues that they deal with really kind of blew my mind as an adult, to know that teenagers were going through so much,
Right.
and just being there for them, to be able to listen to them when they needed to talk, really helped me to kind of mold these characters in this book.
I have a question.
Yes.
Were you ever nervous to talk to teens and ask them stuff? Like, were you ever nervous talking to them?
Well, I was nervous as a teacher because when I started in alternative school, I was much younger than I am now, not too much older than my kids were. So I was nervous about them even taking me seriously because I looked really young. And I think it's just a grace that God put on my life to be able to relate to teenagers. And it's hard for some people to relate to teenagers without coming off as judgmental. And so I really do think it's a gift to be able to reach out to them. But yes, I was nervous.
And
I
you know,
was very nervous.
and you know what? And she said her kids. She don't even look like she have kids. She just looks so young.
I was just about to say the same thing. You look very young.
She looks so young. She look like she's about 22 or something like that. I'm like, I'm about to say, what you doing with some kids?
22, 23.
Oh man, you're welcome. Right now we have Valerie Kote-Tawia in the studios right now on the Brother T Show. You got any more questions?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Now you say you taught in alternative school. I know that had to be an experience like no other.
Yeah, because I just had a friend that went there. So.
I mean, for those that live outside of our area, I think every school district has an alternative school. And for those that don't know, alternative school are students that had troubles in regular public school, and this is supposed to be like some sort of second chance.
That'll drive them, let you know, and then some people can go there and then come back to the same school that they went to.
Right.
I just had one of my people that I was cool with went there, but like half the school year, he just came back like last week. So yeah.
So teaching in alternative school, I knew that had to be a quite of experience. So how long did you teach in alternative school? And I know that the school district they probably assigned you there. I know you didn't probably want to go there. Am I telling the truth or what?
I actually went there on my own, believe it or not.
Really?
I did. And when I got there, I really, it surprised me to see that a lot of those kids are mislabeled, for lack of a better term. They're dealing with some circumstances that will set anybody back, and I realized that a lot of them really do want better for themselves, but they don't have what they need in their life, the guidance exactly to be able to do it. So It was a really good experience. I did more counseling than math teaching. Don't tell anybody, but it was a good experience.
But you know what? You said something interesting, and I'm a firm believer in this. That there are some, but there's really no bad children. Right? They're just misguided, misled,
Right.
like you said, India. Like you said, India. And
Probably don't have the right environment.
right,
Yeah.
and they're a product of the environment.
Yeah.
In some cases. So I found it interesting that you chose to teach at alternative school. You chose. So that lets me know that you are a person that loves to take a challenge. You love to take stuff head on. You just love to get in the way. You just love to take challenges. You just love to, you just love to fight. Am I telling the truth? Is that your personality? Am I telling the truth?
You are telling the truth, and I really, even before teaching in the alternative school, I subbed in the public school system, and those kids some of the kids that I work with, I'll say some of them, they had this sense of entitlement about them, and then going into the alternative school where these kids had nothing, to offer, and they were just so open to me being there, and they would ask me all the time, Miss K, why are you at this school? You could be at such and such other school, but you're here. And I really do miss being in a classroom, but I know now that I have more time to be able to do something that I'm really passionate about and still affect those same kids in a different kind of way.
Sorry. Would you ever think about being a counselor again, or think about doing that as a second, like a backup thing?
Well, I was a teacher. I just did counseling in the classroom.
Right.
But I would love to go back actually to that same school where I still have the connections to volunteer, but not to be actually in the classroom.
Yeah.
So I'm taking that you're not teaching anymore.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so what made you want to leave teaching? And I'm taking that you're an author full time. Am I correct?
No, I am working at a private school in office administration though.
Okay. You left teaching, actually educating, getting in front of a blackboard. Okay. What made you want to get away from that? Was that like a promotion or job transfer, or I mean, if not, if you chose to get away from it on your own, do you have any regrets from moving away from that arena?
Well, I chose to do it, and it was a tough decision, but it came after much thought and prayer. But I realized as I was teaching, I was saying it would be convenient to be a teacher because I could still write on the side during the summer. I could focus on my writing, but I never did it. I was always focusing on teaching. It was 24/7. I never had time to actually focus on my writing. So I decided to walk away and really spend the time to work on my dream.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up, because I love it when people step out on faith and do what you do. I love it, and I love the testimony when I hear stuff like that, because that's the only way that we can get to where we want to get to. We have to step out on faith. And and that's one of the things that I've been afraid to do for so many years, but I'm to a point in my life where, hey, I'm ready to step out. I'm ready to step out. I've done this for so many years. I'm ready to step out. And I thank God that you did that.
Thank you. I
right,
do too.
Yeah. Right now we have Valerie Kote-Tawia on the Brother T Show right now. So this book here, you said there's a book 2 in the works, and I like the way that you did it by, I guess, around the end of the book, because like I said, my wife is the reader in the house, and she's read novels by one author in particular, Eric Jerome Dickey. She read his books, and she told me his writing style is, Aaron, or India, like the last few chapters of the last few paragraphs of the book is like a taste of the next book, and it'll make you want to buy the next book.
Basically, like in the end, it's like a persuasive part.
It's like a preview. It's like a preview of the next book. You read it. It's like TV. You see the ending of something. Like, good example. Have you seen Fast and the Furious?
Yeah.
Okay. It's at the end of one of those movies, they show a preview, like a little taste of the next movie that they're gonna release. And it's gonna make you say, "Oh man, I want to go see that movie."
Yeah, they got a Fast and Furious 6 coming out.
Right.
Too.
And when they did Fast and the Furious 5, they probably did a little taste
You remember at the end when she
right.
Yeah.
And then it just go black, and then you see credits. Okay. Same thing goes with the book. Now, by you saying that makes me think that a lot of authors are doing that nowadays, because the first author I've known of doing that, according to what my wife said, is Eric Jerome Dickey, and she read a lot of his books. Now, do you see authors doing that a lot in their books? Because I don't think they ever done that. I don't think they ever done that in previous years. But do you see that now?
Well, when I was in middle school reading the Babysitters Club series, that's when I first decided to write my own series. And Martin was doing the same thing for her series.
Okay.
And so it was a good, like you said, it was a good way to get people to go out and buy the next book.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, you know how you read and you picture what you're reading? I do that all the time. Is that like a normal thing for people? Like, because when I read, I like normal visualize when I'm reading, or what, like the situations and the stages and stuff.
That's definitely a normal thing when there's good writing.
Yeah, definitely. Like all the books that I've read, I have pictured, like, you know.
Yeah. So when you had this book finally done, manuscript, so who was the person or people that you allowed to read your manuscript or to see for grammatical errors, grammatical things, errors, to look for that, and to see, if the book was right, did you have like a panel of people to do that, or did you just do it yourself?
I didn't have a panel, but I did have a good friend of mine who's very detailed to read through it, because I had read it so many times, as having written it.
Right.
And so I needed a different set of eyes.
Right.
And I couldn't even afford to have it professionally edited.
Right.
So I had a friend of mine who was good at it and very detailed, like I said, to read over it. And he read it several times, and we got it edited down to its final form.
So do you think that he did a good job in proofreading?
Yes, it was definitely good, because he also caught some things that I could add to the story to help the reader follow it better, or just to give them additional information, like from a character's point of view. So he did a really good job.
Okay, great. Right now we have Valerie Kote-Tawia, the author of Set Apart, Would You Be Left, and from Live Set Apart, on the Brother T Show right now. So tell us about, Live Set Apart.
Well, Live Set Apart is a campaign that I want to start just to encourage teenagers who are in school to break away from the mold. I know it's really hard. It's really hard to be different, and it's really hard to make the right decision, but I want to empower teenagers to be bold enough to do that.
Okay, now I've tried to look at this phrase, live set apart. Now I'm trying to make some sense out of it. Live set apart. Live set apart. Tell me how does that come about?
Okay, well, we're all called to be set apart. We were all set apart. The term is actually inspired from the scripture Jeremiah 1:5, where God says that before you even born, I knew you in your mother's womb, and I called you to be set apart, a prophet to the nations. So we were all called to live that way. We are a peculiar people, as it says in the scripture, and we are to stand out from the world. We are to stand apart, stand out.
Wow.
So my campaign is just to live set apart. Let your life be different so that you inspire others to do the same.
That's the same thing my mother says all the time.
Oh, wow.
Be the odd one out the bunch. And I try to, but it's like you said, it's kind of hard to break away, because like when you're trying to fit into a group and you finally in, it's like I don't want to do nothing else to change. But then when you really think about it, the life that we're living now makes you want to change, so you don't have to be like everybody else. So.
And I'm pretty sure it talks about that in the book. Am I correct?
It does. It really does. And in this book,
I might have to get that.
These characters deal with those tough decisions. Do I want to be like everybody else, or am I gonna live set apart?
Okay. Right now we got Valerie Kote-Tawia in the studio right now on the Brother T Show. So this book, is it available? I see it's on paperback.
Yes.
Is it available in hard copy? Because you got people that like hard copy, not hardback, and you got people that like paperback. But is it also available as an ebook?
Yes, it is available as an ebook, and it can be purchased on Amazon.com by just searching the book title, Would You Be Left, or even Set Apart, or my name, Valerie Kote-Tawia. We don't have a hardback, but we do have this paperback that's available on the website and on Amazon.com as well as of last night.
Oh, as of last night.
Yes.
Man, okay. Got the exclusive.
You moving fast there, then.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And also, what about audiobooks? Has this been? Are you looking at converting this into an audiobook? Because you have people. We live in a like a microwave society where people don't have the time to read. They rather listen in their cars, especially living here in Atlanta. You're stuck in traffic just about every day, and you can actually read a book in traffic. Yeah.
And be done with it.
Right, dude. You just don't know what. Dude, I people shaving, people doing their hair. You know, you could do all people. You would do a lot.
Putting on makeup.
Yeah.
Eyeliner.
Right. So, do you see yourself doing an audiobook version of this book?
Well, Brother T, I will take this as confirmation because you're not the first to ask me about an audiobook.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine actually approached me about doing it. So, since I do have that channel, that will be something that I will work on next.
Okay, well, you know, I'm a good voiceover person, you know. Yeah. You know, hey. So what is set apart about this series follows the lives of Angel Alexander, Damian Mathis, Shamika Jones, Elise Parker, Vaughn Michael Hollis III, and the diverse students of Lawrence Dunbar High.
That's good.
This dude got that TV voice. That's right.
In a world.
Sound just like everybody. I'm like, God.
I try, man. You know, oh man, right now we have Valerie Kote-Tawia in the studio right now on the Brother T Show. So, Valerie, if this book is available in all outlets online, and is it in stores right now? Is it in like a Barnes and Noble? Is it in stores?
It is not in stores yet.
So just totally online.
Yes.
That's a great thing.
Would it be able to, like, if you ever thought about it, will you be able to put it on Kindle, like the little Kindle reading book?
It is on Kindle. The ebook is available from Amazon.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So if anybody wants to get information on you, your book, your production, if they want to book you, if they want you to come out and do a play, a version of the play, if they want to reach you, how would they go about doing that?
Well, they can visit my website, www.livesetapart.com. They could also follow me on Twitter at livesetapart. And they can also reach me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/setapart.
Okay. Great. You have a question?
Nope.
Okay. Hey,
I'm good.
Okay, check this out. Before I end the show,